Welcome to episode number 840 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, December 21st, 2021. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. Today, we got Mark, Pat, and I'm Will. Wes is working a different screen. You know what I mean?
That's right.
No, what are you talking about?
Wes is listening to the classic songs you hear at a wedding for the 1,000th time.
Yeah.
Who gets married?
His LCD screen. Yeah.
On a Monday night.
Monday night.
Assholes.
Somebody.
Poor assholes.
Yeah, you're avoiding the fees there for sure.
I mean, it's fine if like everyone's local and you give them a bunch of heads up, but to expect someone to fly in, that's
the Monday.
Right.
No,
for a Monday wedding, you can't expect that.
Yeah,
it's all local people. Like if you get mad that someone didn't take off, I don't know how many fucking days that is, at least one.
You think there's anybody that Thursday wedding or a Monday wedding that like really
gets mad if people don't travel?
Really gets upset about it?
I mean, they make bad enough decisions to have a Monday wedding, so they probably get upset irrationally. Yeah.
Better be a second or third marriage. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. Or like if
you think you're saying that the first has to go on a Saturday?
Yeah,
no bones about it.
Yes. Or I mean, if some people like to do small weddings where they don't invite people, which is fine. They they do it in a backyard or they go to the courthouse and they don't want to involve a lot of people. But if you're hiring a fucking weddingographer, then you're not that type of person. You're having a wedding, so
right. It's weird to have a videographer or a photography or whatever Wes is doing
on a Monday
wedding.
So they cheaped out everywhere except for on Wes's expensive ass services.
Yeah.
Wes might just be shooting photos, which is his new thing right now. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he's just like getting artsy. It's just creative space for Wes. He's just like in a field somewhere, photographing stuff.
Oh man,
right
Wes
now.
Loves a field.
Probably not a nice venue.
So what are we talking about today on the show? What's in the news? I got so much in the cup of coffee. It's almost like a lightning round.
Whoa.
Don't even. It's a lot. We're going to talk about a lot of the big hitters. What else we got going on today?
Bunch of stuff, bro. We're talking about the third grade class that reenacted the Holocaust in a really strange and terrible way.
Interesting.
The only way, I guess, to do that reenactment.
I mean, I don't know that there's a way to really do it right.
Right. How do you do it justice? You probably just don't. Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll learn more. We'll learn more.
And we're gonna go to Canada. I got my Vancouver on. We're gonna go to Canada. We're gonna go to Chile, and we're gonna go to Germany.
Nice.
And that's
Love that.
Oh, Canada and the fatherland. Let's do the news. Cup of coffee in the big time is up first.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Let's keep going. I'm going to be back in one shake of lamb till I realize I don't have my photos, but they're in the other computer. But no, just keep going. Seamless. I'm right back.
Okay.
All right. Cup of coffee in the big times up first. Holidays, history, and trending news. But first, a fun fact. And Mark, you know how Alec Baldwin is setting the bar very low for people named Alec in the year 2021?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, really low. But then it occurred to me that the phrase "don't be a smart Alec" already existed long before that. And I'm thinking, how is it that the guys named Alec have been doing this to people forever? Turns out the cursed name of Alec also belonged to a 19th century con man named Alec Hoag, Hoag, who lived in New York City in the 1840s. He was a pimp, a con man, and a thief who worked with his wife named Melinda. And they tried to rob any would-be John that they could. So like first they did it in an alley, and then they started doing it in their apartment, and eventually they stopped paying the cops to look the other way.
There's a big problem.
There's a big problem for them, yes. And that led to their downfall, Pat, as you foreshadowed. Adding insult to injury, one of the arresting officers coined the term "smart Alec" for a criminal who thinks that he's smarter than he really is. So Alec Baldwin really living up to the namesake, actually. And that's how "Don't Be a Smart Alec" got started. So
we lost Pat. So Alec Baldwin, did you see he got pulled over with his wife in the car because they had a warrant out for his cell phone?
What?
This is
Really?
This is interesting timing. He got pulled over on Monday afternoon in his car.
Really?
And because there's a warrant out for his to search his.
Well,
cell
they're
phone,
subpoenaing his cell phone. I wouldn't
they
call
got
it a
him.
warrant.
They pulled his ass over on the highway, which I'm sure he didn't. Which I'm sure he didn't throw a fucking conniption, knowing his past. Like when he got asked to get kicked off the plane for playing Words with Friends, he probably was like, "Why the fuck did you pull me over?" And they're like, "Because you killed someone. We need your phone."
Fortuitous timing on this fun fact, Mark. Yes. Don't be a smart aleck is all I got to say to that.
Don't be a smart aleck.
Don't be a smart aleck. That's like Mark with a C level right there. Alec with a C as well.
Alec with the C. Mark with the C. They get along like peas in a fucked up pod.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Pat, how you doing over there? You all recovered?
Yeah, I'm all recovered. Everything's in good shape over here, man.
Nice.
Also, update on the guy. Did you remember yesterday was Mud Day? MUDD. That was the guy that performed surgery on John Wilkes Booth, and he got arrested for aiding and abetting after the fact. But he was like, I didn't know he killed Abraham Lincoln. Like it was like after he killed Abraham Lincoln or something. He like.
Oh, whoa.
So that was my name.
They were
is
like,
Mud
kill this man.
Yeah, so every year they do Mud Day because I guess like for generations his family name was like Sully.
Drugged
but
through
he
the
was
mud.
He was a doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be called wet dirt.
Day.
Mm-hmm. No, not even day. That's just what they called mud. They just called it wet dirt. And then they were like, oh, man, we're calling this shit mud from now on because this dude's last name is Mud.
That's right.
yeah, true.
Apparently it came around. Apparently my name is Mud came around before Mud, but who knows? Who knows?
I heard that as well.
Mm-hmm. Like Flynn, you know what I mean?
Speaking of days, December 21st holidays, it's the winter solstice. The official first day of winter, shortest day of the year. Here's a little chart for you guys so you can see how that works. We're tilted the furthest towards the northern pole that will be tilted on this planet, which creates the longest night of the year. Yeah. Back in ancient times, it's usually on December 21st. The solstice is usually on the 21st, December and June. And back in ancient times, as far back as 10,200 BC, it would be celebrated with a giant winter feast featuring meat and alcohol due to the timing of the seasons in most northern hemisphere societies. So you would get hammered and eat meat. And it was the last good party before going into starvation season that lasted from January through April back then. That's when most people starved. So
like
last good part. Yep. Yeah.
Wow. They called it that, huh? They called it starvation season.
Yeah, January through April. That's when most humans would starve.
That's
back
terrible.
in the day before like modern society. Yeah.
Imagine trying to get tourism going during starvation season.
No, you can't.
You don't.
You get drunk. That's it. The alcohol gets produced right before starvation season. Hopefully you make it through. You get drunk and try to
the bottling people are fine. The alcohol distributors are fine.
drown your sorrows. Yeah.
Good.
Look, on the positive, it only gets better from here. So this is the shortest day of the year. The days only start getting longer.
They start getting longer, but it is starvation season. The Romans even extended the winter solstice celebration to be a week-long holiday they called Saturnalia.
I'm sure they didn't do any crazy shit during that week.
Right. They had figured out the starvation by then. They were on to orgies and
right. Oh, we should have sex with little boys this whole week, right? Because it's
baths.
Because it's
there was
dark.
probably a whole bath day.
Yeah,
You had to stay in the bath for 24 hours.
Right.
Also, December 21st, Crossword Puzzle Day, Humbug Day, and National Flashlight Day because it's so dark.
I get it.
Yeah, I mean it's the winter solstice. Nobody else should even have a day on this day. It's silly that they do. You guys have any winter solstice memories or anything like that?
What are you talking about? No.
You get
No.
big winter solstice guys.
What are you talking about?
No.
Today sucks. Let's move forward.
No. Tend to not do much on winter solstice.
Yeah. All right. I just wondered.
It's a light holiday.
Shot in the dark.
Vampires.
right,
This is a big day for vampires.
Huge day. They love it.
Yeah.
December 21st in history. Got two for you. In 1898, radium was discovered by Marie and Pierre Curie. And it's now used to treat cancer. Chemical element, radium.
Wow. What was it used for back then?
Don't know.
You know what they used it
don't know
for? They
anything
used
about
it
it.
for as in paint. I'm pretty sure, and it ruined a bunch of people's lives.
Well, it's radioactive, so yeah, it makes sense.
The Radium girls, they're female factory workers who contracted radiation poisoning from painting watch dials with self-luminescent paint. So, like, radium is
So at first it gave people cancer,
Everglow,
now it's treating
right,
cancer.
or Indiglow
Yeah.
watches. Those are
Crack
recreating
a few
radium.
eggs.
They thought they were like, this is badass. We can make everything glow. Oh, whoops, it's radioactive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah.
But now it
It's
cures.
radium.
Now it helps to cure cancer. So look at that, full circle on radium there. 1898, December 21st is when it was discovered. December 21st, 2012, music video for South Korean singer Psy's song "Gangnam Style" became YouTube's first 1 billion view video on December 21st, 2012.
It's a good song.
Gangnam Style is a great video, though.
Great
Also.
video. Good song.
Hey, sexy ladies.
I think the closest thing to Gangnam Style
Gangnam Style.
was the Macarena.
And then
where
the
you-
dance,
Yeah.
exactly.
right? Where you have like
Yeah.
a foreign music
Cowboy
video
dance.
coming in and just dominating.
Yes,
Macarena
very
just
Macarena.
swept through the U.S.
They
like
they were
the
teaching us the
Omicron variant.
Macarena dance
Yeah.
at elementary school.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I was doing that at my house with my parents. We had like Macarena night.
Unbelievable. Macarena, what a phenomenon! The Macarena.
Dude,
We
it
had
really
Macarena.
was.
We had Macarena on the on vinyl. We put it on like the vinyl player. Would do like the Macarena. Yeah.
It's like that was back in the day when sports celebrations were not tolerated, but Macarena was widely accepted in every league if you did it as your celebration. Yeah, Macarena. Mark's doing it on YouTube.com.
Two of the 12 steps.
Right. It's a long dance. It's pretty involved.
It went diamond. 10 million
Macarena.
single solo, which is actually kind of small.
That's
for what
low.
that was
All
low,
right.
yeah.
And the north.
What's higher than
in
diamond,
the Mid Atlantic, it went.
Nothing's higher than diamond, but like a lot of artists have gone diamond. Like Kid Rock's gone fucking diamond. Like
Well, I
Ball
mean,
with
he's
the
a
ball.
titan of industry.
Yeah. Ball with the balls.
Yeah.
You know.
and it depends per country too. Like in the U.S., it's gold 500,000, platinum 1 million, diamond 10 million. But then like to go with like gold or platinum in like the Netherlands, for example, it's like 75,000 units or something.
Well,
New Zealand, it's like 10,000 units.
Oh, so it's proportional
prorated.
to where you
Yeah,
are.
it's proportional.
Oh man, well that's kind of bullshit for like Lorde. She goes diamond on everything because she's from New Zealand.
In
they
New
count
Zealand,
US.
yes.
Yeah, but she also goes diamond in the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So she goes diamond. I see.
Yeah.
You get it per country. All right, that makes sense. Well, that's a lot of awards. It's just extra awards to give yourself. Okay.
Doesn't
cool.
she also sing that song about diamonds?
I don't know. Yeah,
Not
You-
sure.
You have to pay
I'm a
for your own
diamond
plaques
little
too.
girl or whatever it's called. I'm not a big Lord fan. I don't know. Diamond in the rough or some bullshit like that. I don't know.
Everyone's gone diamond, man.
Everyone's diamond some bullshit. All right.
Royals. Yeah.
Moving it on to the trending news. Honorable mentions. Like I said, it's like a lightning round. So honorable mentions in number 3's got a lot in it. So here's the honorable mentions. A 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit near Eureka in Northern California on Monday, and the locals were saying it's the largest many of them had ever felt. Period. Living there. So
What kind of damage was done? Damn, that sucks.
it didn't sound like a ton of like structural damage. I think it hit in a place that's not like it didn't hit in like in a super populated area.
Mhm.
And I think it was a little bit out in the ocean, but still kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they have any Eureka moments? Wasn't Eureka when the apple fell on that dude's head?
I don't know. Oh yeah. Isaac
A lot of-
Newton.
Yeah, a lot of houses shook, so maybe a few apples fell on people's heads.
Gravity was the
Saying.
Eureka moment.
Didn't he yell
Interesting.
Eureka when he got hit by the apple? I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up.
Maybe so. Well, hopefully Eureka's doing fine. It was a town just south of them. Okay. Next one in the mentions, a travel advisory of the highest possible do not go level has been issued for Ukraine. So for Americans. So they say, don't go. Don't go. They issued that on Monday, probably because it's going to be a war zone potentially soon. Maybe, who knows?
Let's say COVID-19 precautions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
what it
that's
says.
that's a
Due to
facade.
COVID-19. Yeah.
I would remember the North Korea stuff? The families that went to where was it? I'm sorry, Iraq. Remember all the families that went come from California to Iraq? And they were like, don't go, don't go. Heed this warning.
I agree. I'm not
this warning.
I'm not shitting on the warning. By the way, shout out to the Heart of Hive for calling out that the fentanyl and marijuana was a plant by local police stations.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Turned out to be.
It was, yeah.
Turned out to be. There was fentanyl in the marijuana. That's why the lab tested positive. But some, I guess, local police station put the fentanyl in the marijuana.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't actually fentanyl.
And then the cops have been using it as a PR thing. I touched on it on a Florida Man Friday.
That's fucked up.
As well. Yeah.
Archimedes was the guy with Eureka. It was Isaac Newton was the Apple guy. I'm wrong. Another idiot.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, combine them together. You're right. And Pat, good call. That is COVID-19. But is it COVID-19?
No,
you're
right. Also, good news for travelers, international travelers in the U.S. You can renew passports online now. So
that's
cool.
sweet.
So good change.
That's good.
Next mention.
Sick, bro.
That is sick. The NFL playoff picture still isn't totally clear yet. But Chris Godwin of the playoff-bound Buccaneers, wide receiver, is done for the year, clearing the runway for the return of Antonio Brown, hopefully rocking the bleach mustache. He will be fresh off his suspension for faking his COVID papers when he gets back, and he's ready to go for the playoffs. So
he's got to hang it up, man. He's just got to hang it up, right?
He's not that old. He's like 33.
Antonio Brown's the best.
He's so fast. Dude, if what's his name? Deshaun Jackson was still playing. Did you see he caught like a 60-yard bomb the other week?
Yeah, but Deshaun Jackson made a decision at one point in his career when he left to go to Washington. He made a decision in his career, or shortly there before, that he was going to be a team player.
No, they're similar players though. They're diva wide receivers that go.
Yeah, but Deshaun Jackson shows up.
Deshaun Jackson went to Washington for a year, then back to the Eagles for a year. Then he just went to the St. Louis Rams, and his first game he was activated. He caught a 60-yard touchdown pass, and then
he was
also
on the Raiders.
And then he quit. And then he quit on the team and said, "Fuck the Rams." I went off just 2 weeks ago. He's a piece of shit.
I didn't follow that news.
Yeah.
That's not the Deshaun Jackson I know.
I can't wait for Washington. Deshaun Jackson was the man, and so was early Philly. Jackson's the man still.
Sure.
Antonio Brown.
Giants, get out of here.
Antonio Brown is the biggest prankster of all time. Also hilarious. Can't wait to watch him catch touchdowns for Tom Brady.
He likes to prank his physical trainers and masseuses. All right. What's below the blanket? It's an erection.
Some dirty pranks.
Yeah,
from Antonio from
devious liquor.
Yeah. Sticking to sports for the next mention, a Herndon, Virginia man named Joe Snively made his debut for the Capitals on Sunday, recording a primary assist in his first game. And that's cool because Herndon, Virginia people don't play in the NHL.
Did he go to Herndon High?
I'm not sure what high school he went to. I didn't look into his background, but he probably
Herndon, went to a school that had hockey.
And the reason he's so into hockey is because of Ovechkin, obviously.
I mean, that's the thing that sucks about Herndon is whenever there's a great athlete from Herndon, because technically
could have gone to private school, whatever.
No, they went to Westlake. Because technically you can live in Herndon, go to Westlake. Who was a great return man for the Hokies? Eddie Royal, right? Eddie Royal. He was a Herndon guy, right?
Well, Pat, we'll pretend we're the ones on air right now. We're going to pretend Joe Snively went to Herndon High School and that he's a Hornet, he's scoring goals. For
who was a Hornet was Nick Mangold's mom.
Yeah,
was a Hornet, and she was apparently the shit there.
Hornet Hall of Fame, right there.
That's
Mangold
amazing.
family. Related to the NHL news there. The NHL has pulled out of the Beijing Olympics. So and more people maybe later. We'll get to that.
It's going to be a real stinker of an Olympics again, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Last mention, the Northman trailer is out.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's favorite giant Viking actor, Alexander Skarsgård, stars as Amleth, a Viking prince hellbent on revenge. And it drops April 22nd, 2022. Good one to watch with all the 420 weed laying around that week.
That looks intense.
The Northman. Yeah, and it'll be with him, he's just a gigantic Nordic guy, so it seems very he'll be believable, right?
It's gonna be just a lot of people getting beheaded and shit. Tons of beheadings. Over under 10 beheadings in that movie.
Lots.
Yeah.
And then mystic scenes of the enchantress lady who's helping him, probably gonna be trippy.
A lot of Nordic gods and goddesses.
All right, hold on. This kid went to Sioux City, UHSHL, and he went to Yale.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Well,
he had
good.
to play hockey.
Hockey.
There's no
There's not many
option to play
programs
hockey
in
Herndon.
Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
Number 3, we got to keep it moving, guys. Lots of topics here. 3 people who are back. Number 3. First of the 3, Peng Shuai. The Chinese tennis star is back and pretending she never released the essay accusing former Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli. How do you say that, Mark? Gaoli?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Zhang, of having coerced her into sex back on November 2nd, which she did before it got deleted 30 minutes later. Then she disappeared. Then the CCP issued a weird written statement on her behalf. And now she's back on camera telling a completely new story to a Singaporean newspaper. And it has women's tennis groups wanting to pull out of the Beijing Olympics too now because of this Peng Shuai about face.
They should.
Yeah. So Peng Shuai back on video. Beijing Olympics not back in general. Just having a tough go this week. A surprise, somebody who's back, Louis C.K. He's got a new special.
He's jerking off again?
Nope, Mark. He's back on the stage.
Okay.
Hopefully not jerking off. Just telling jokes. He's got a new special called Sorry, all caps.
Yeah.
It's him on the stage in front of the giant Sorry that he shot over the summer at Madison Square Garden. And you can get it straight from his website along with Sorry merch. And as you may imagine, many people are upset that the man who jacked off in front of women against their will is making money off comedy still with the, flippantly titled Sorry act.
I wish it was called Have a Look or Take a Look.
Let me show you something. Oh, Louis
a couple
C.K.
pranksters in the news today. Antonio Brown and
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's like anywhere from $10 to $20 to stream.
I saw
it.
Louis C.K. in Austin with Wes, one of his favorite.
I'm a big fan of his comedy.
Louis
I mean,
C.K. is very funny, very very funny guy.
Look,
He's very funny.
here's the deal, guys. To be honest with you, R. Kelly, you get him out of there. Okay, Michael Jackson, you get him out of there. There's a line to be crossed in terms of separating an artist from what they do off stage. Yeah, I mean, are you gonna never watch Pulp Fiction again because Harvey Weinstein produced it?
No, I watched a Miramax film the other week. No,
Okay, but I mean, this is a little different. This is buying his thing that says Sorry. I mean, this is like
you don't need Sorry merch, Pat. Yeah,
look, Louis is betting that like he's got more personal fans than people can cancel him.
He's funny. I mean, if it's
trying
on
to
Netflix,
go on with his career.
If it's on Netflix and my wife is nowhere near the house,
he's like,
I'll watch it. Yeah.
He's like, all I know is to tell jokes. Sorry, I jacked off in front of so many people.
Look,
there's
it's gonna be funny.
fucked up things happening in women's comedy. There's no doubt about that. Women in comedy get a fucking tough ass rap. They get a tough road ahead because there's guys like Louis C.K. jerking off.
I'd say Louis still and he just keeps making it. We're gonna talk about Bill O'Reilly later. He's still
middle of the road, like fucked up for women in comedy. That's like the middle marker. There's some things better that happen, and then it definitely.
Joey
gets
Diaz
worse than Louis CK.
said that he would make chicks give him blowjobs for sets at the Comedy Store.
Yes, that Joey Diaz, who is not canceled and is on fire right now, worse than Louis C.K.
I said, you want to do 15 minutes?
Yes.
Come up and suck my dick.
Oh wow!
And Chris D'Elia was like, "Yeah, you do it."
Oh,
and Joe Rogan was like, "Hell yeah, Joe! Joey Diaz. You're so crazy."
Yeah.
Damn. What episode was that? I got
just Google Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, blowjobs, Comedy Store. Oh, I mean, it's old. It's old, but
I gotta check.
I thought it came out in the past couple months.
All right, last people who are back for number 3 of the 3 who are back: John Daly and Tiger Woods. It's technically 4 people. They finished first and second at the PNC Championship Family Tournament over the weekend. And John Daly's new look with the giant beard is fire. Have you guys seen it?
Santa Claus.
Look at him. Look at him. He's majestic.
It's Florida John Daly. It's Florida Santa Claus.
Oh,
his son. We talked about this earlier on the Hive Hour. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. His son's beefy.
So his son's a little beefy. John Daly the second, who they won. They won, by the way. But Tiger Woods and his son Charlie, who's much younger, it looks like they're just going to dominate golf for 2 generations.
So they had that one shot of that was going around social media, and it was Charlie. I guess that's Tiger Woods' kid walking, and I guess it was a little windy that day. He's wearing that golf shirt that's like smart fabric. And you can't tell, but it looks like underneath that shirt, he looks like the ripped toddler. You know, the ripped toddler that goes around all the time.
Oh, he's definitely in good shape.
The Hercules kid,
Yeah, he looks like the Hercules kid. So, but What
Charlie's naturally
what
fit,
was this? This was like
the PNC championship has like a family portion where former major winners can play with a family member, and just so happened that they were both playing with their sons.
Did everyone go with their son, or did someone go with their idiot brother?
I'm sure some people don't. I'm sure a lot of people don't play with their sons.
Isn't the story here that Tiger Woods' leg looks phenomenal?
Right, and Tiger Woods is 10 months after his crash, and they're interviewing him afterwards, and Tiger's like, I'm so happy to be back. Obviously, it's got to be crazy.
He almost lost a leg.
Right. Yeah.
Or a foot at minimum. He looks
But
fine,
no, Mark, to me, John Daly's beard still outshined Tiger Woods.
John Daly looks great. Look at those pants. Look at the pants, too.
I mean, oh, man.
Him and his dad just ripping heaters, ripping darts, long driving the shit out of it. What a time.
That's a great time. All right.
I guess the kid's probably going to Arkansas, right?
He's a freshman at Arkansas.
Yeah, he's rocking a Razorbacks hat.
Razorbacks belt buckle too, Pat. You'd like the belt buckle.
John
I think
Daly's
you'd like his son.
Not a Razorbacks fan, but I do like that town.
You'd enjoy hanging out with Daly and Daly the second.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
Number 2, the Maxwell trial. The jury has begun deliberations in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial.
As of deliberating, they didn't accuse her of anything in that trial.
As of Monday
didn't accuse
night,
anyone of anything.
Well, Mark, Ghislaine, who turned 60 on Christmas birthday, Ghislaine, faces up to 70 years if convicted on all 6 counts that she is accused of, including minor sex trafficking.
They need to really again, it was major sex trafficking.
It was
major sex trafficking of minors. Good point, Pat. Ghislaine
will be out with her new tour, Sorry, in a couple of years.
Yeah, it sounds like they're trying to minimize it with minor sex trafficking.
Ghislaine's going to be the opening comedy act for Louis C.K. next year.
If she had it her way, and her family who attended the last day of the trial, I'm sure that's what she would do. Ghislaine never took the stand, claiming that it was all Jeffrey. Yeah, she said that that nobody had proved enough, and that everything was all Jeffrey. That's what her lawyers, because she didn't say anything. It's just her lawyers spoke for her. But the prosecutors hope they've done enough to tie her to the grooming and exploitation of at least 4 girls, in particular in the case that we're focused on. And hopefully we get a quick verdict with the jury wanting to get home for the holidays. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's going to be quick. They 4 girls out of the 14,000 that those monsters went through, and all the high profile people that enjoyed the services of the underage sex trafficked women, not going to get in trouble. Ghislaine's going to get, if any sentence, we're not going to know what prison she goes to, because she's not going to go to prison. She's going to just go to wherever the rich people have her at. It's
terrible. The whole thing, how it's been so kind of handled through, like,
it's
there's you can't see anything. There's no transparency to the whole process. Just like the Epstein, once he was taken
Prince Andrew's sitting in England laughing.
It sucks. It sucks. All right. So that sucks. The end of the trial is just like the start and the middle of the trial. It sucks because we're not really getting the full view. And moving on to number 1, or
the cream of the crop.
And fellas, I'm sorry I had to do it, but it's the Omicron variant. The Omicron variant is dominating all headlines all over the place. It's ever present. On Monday, President Biden welcomed a new dog named Commander to the first family. Check him out. So cute.
He is cute. Big paws.
Yeah, that's cute. But on Tuesday, things are going to take a more somber tone as President Biden has to address the nation about the spike in both Delta and Omicron variant COVID cases going on globally and now in the U.S. as well. Here's an excerpt from the AP quoting Dr. Fauci on Meet the Press. They say the COVID-19 Omicron variant is just raging around the world. The White House's top medical advisor said Sunday as President Joe Biden prepares to issue, quote, a stark warning of what the winter will look like for unvaccinated Americans on Tuesday. And here's a little preview of the speech that we're probably going to see from Biden giving today on Tuesday. Here's what they published on whitehouse.gov. They said, we are intent on not letting Omicron disrupt work and school for the vaccinated. You've done the right thing, and we will get through this. For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death for yourselves, your families, and the hospitals you may soon overwhelm. So
people got so mad about this. I don't understand why people got mad about this. It's like these are just words, guys.
Yeah.
You already chose not to get vaccinated. We know what they want you to do. Get vaccinated. We know what you want to do. Not get vaccinated. They're sitting there being like,
it's coming from the White House official press thing. This,
I mean,
you know
whatever.
what it's kind of like, Pat. And I'm not. I do agree that if you don't,
they're
get
just trying to get your attention.
This is like when the crazy people were DMing me. I don't know if you got any, and they were like, "You're going to die because you got vaccinated," and sending me articles from the dark web about how my heart's going to explode. Because
they're being too dramatic about it.
It's like that, except it's the White House instead of some crazy guy I blocked on Instagram.
Here's my number one thing.
Well, they're shaming people who never have to reveal themselves.
But here's my number one thing. I don't care, right? I do care. You know how I feel if you're unvaccinated. I think you should get vaccinated. That's my personal opinion. But I want to point this out. Regardless of whether you think you should or you shouldn't, like I saw lots of dumbasses on Instagram today saying like, I feel fine. Me and my roommate feel fine. We don't have any symptoms. It's not about you, dumbass. It's about the hospitals you overwhelm. That's the most important thing at the end there.
That's true, but
if you overwhelm a hospital... If you're north of 40, north of 50 years old,
I agree.
You could be at the hospital and you could take a spot from someone who needs it.
The terminology from the White House should be like, you selfish pricks. It shouldn't be like, you're going to die a horrible death. That's
right. But I hate to say it, the more people who get it, especially younger people, they're going to, if they have an easy time with it, there will be, like you said, Pat, this sense of like, oh, well,
just the deal is in America, if you get sick, this is just the deal in America. If you are ever at a point where you might die, you're going to the hospital. Whether you have health insurance, whether you want to go, whether you don't want to go, you're going to the hospital. That's just the deal. Someone's going to be like, I'm calling the ambulance. You're going to the hospital. If you ever get to that point with this new variant or COVID, you don't have a decision to make. Say, I'm not going, and you're in a bed, and someone who's old, right, who maybe did get vaccinated, right, but is old, they can't have the bed. That's the motherfucker. That's just it. That's the only thing we should be arguing about.
Right.
Do you want to overwhelm a hospital or not? Because that happens and people die because of it. So that's just it. Straight up.
Yeah. Well,
if you can guarantee that if you get sick, you're not going to go to the hospital, then don't get vaccinated. If you can guarantee me that. But you can't.
This new variant seems to get everybody sick, whether they're vaccinated or not. It's a weird Omicron world we live in now.
Omicron sucks. Okay. Omicron's a real bastard. Is what it is.
I hear the NHL might shut down. I hear that.
They are considering shutting down, allegedly. It's also a weird world where Donald Trump and Bill O'Reilly are out stumping for the booster shots. Here's the clip if you guys haven't seen that.
President and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. It's a very tiny group.
You know me, I'm selfish. I care about my life.
You got booed in Dallas for getting the booster.
Oh, well, yeah. Those shows also, by the way, guys, not selling out. Yeah, those shows are not going clean.
Bill O'Reilly's like America
the
Again
Trump
tour.
O'Reilly tour, struggling with ticket sales a little bit.
I think it's just Bill O'Reilly's tour.
No, it's both of them.
He made a stop on the tour. Anyways, they're stumping for the booster shots. You didn't expect that. Joe Biden is having to vow to never lock down again because of a tweet he did last October 2020 saying he's going to shut down the virus, not the economy.
Strong words for the virus there.
Yeah, and Dr.
WWE promo.
Yeah, Biden really fucked himself with that one if he does want to shut down ever, because he's not going to be able to. And Dr. Fauci
why would he put that out there?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of bad paper on everybody, on all of our politicians, including the vice president. Dr. Fauci's having to answer questions on the same Meet the Press appearance where the AP quoted him about Vice President Kamala Harris claiming the federal government didn't see COVID variants coming. Here's her quote. She said, "We didn't see Delta coming. I think most scientists did not, upon whose advice and direction we have relied. Didn't see Delta coming. We didn't see Omicron coming." And that's the nature of what this awful virus
are
has
you
been,
talking about?
which, as it turns out, has mutations and variants, unquote. Kamala Harris said
look at that
to
picture.
the Los Angeles Times.
Meet the Press doing her dirty with that picture,
Dude.
Kamala.
Guys, that was day one conversations. Day one conversations about why we were locking down specifically was you try to beat this thing, and then why vaccines were important is to get herd immunity so that you didn't have variants and mutations. That's the whole thing.
I hate COVID.
Why did she say that we didn't? Well, I mean, is she serious?
She got caught with her pants down on that. That's just insane.
I'm done with talking about COVID. I predicted COVID was going to do this, and I feel like that's enough. That's enough for me for a lifetime. I told you so. Told everyone so, and I don't want to debate whether anything, opinions, economy, vaccines. I don't give a fuck. I called it. And I don't want anyone to ever talk to me about COVID ever again.
You do have to admit that that's weird.
And keep it to the COVID thread in Discord, Hardo Hive. Stop putting articles about fucking COVID in the news thread, the general thread, because no one wants to fucking talk about COVID.
It's true, especially Vice President Harris, who doesn't know shit about it. Because if she didn't think the variants were coming, then she has been not reading at all about the subject. Hard to believe that these are the people who we've voted to lead us through this tumultuous period in our nation's history. But here we are. And that's today's cup of coffee in the big time, which was brought to you by ExpressVPN, the only VPN service I use to make sure my browsing data is secure and private. Why do I do that? Am I a paranoid person who thinks our inept government probably still spies on all of us all the time and never deletes anything and is probably looking at me right now? Maybe. But no, mostly because many ISPs log your internet activity and sell that data to other big tech companies or advertisers. And to prevent ISPs from seeing my internet activity, I protect all of my devices with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is a simple app for your computer or smartphone that encrypts all your network data, and it tunnels it through a secure VPN server so that your ISP cannot see any of your activity. Just think about how much of your life is on the internet. Sadly, the list of people you've messaged, sites you've visited, and videos you've watched get tracked by tech giants who can sell your information for profit. That's the reason I recommend ExpressVPN as the best way to hide your online activity from your ISP. Just download the app, tap one button on your device, and you're protected. Seriously, very easy to use on your phone, on your computer, wherever you need it. And ExpressVPN does all this without slowing your connection. That's why it's rated #1 VPN service by CNET and The Verge. Pretty good right there.
Whoa.
So stop handing over your personal data to ISPs and other tech giants who mine your activity and sell off your information. Protect yourself with the VPN I trust to keep me private online. Visit expressvpn.com/hardfactor. That's expressvpn.com/hardfactor to get 3 extra months free. Go to expressvpn.com/hardfactor right now to learn more.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, that was a long one, fellas.
No, it's okay.
It's long enough for me to get my pee out because I'm taking this cold medication.
You've gotten up like 4 times this show.
Having a bladder
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
All right, I got a cute story for you out of Ontario, Canada. Ontario Provincial Police got a phone call pretty damn early this Monday morning, and the call was about a suspicious vehicle from a concerned neighbor. They're like, this car is acting it's driving a little funny, and
this car's not acting very Canadian here.
This car's acting a little not Canadian here. So when the police showed up, they arrived and they found the vehicle in question had stopped in a hayfield. But it turns out they didn't need to use their billy clubs or whatever non-gun weapons they have, because the person
they just drive the horse into the car.
Yeah. How do you pit a car with the horse? Anyways, they didn't have to do anything serious because they found the person behind the wheel was a little person. And I'm not talking Sean or Ray little. I'm talking of the 5-year-old variety little. Turns out little Timmy Maple Syrup stole his parents' car and went on a little joyride, and the joy was Christmas joy, as he sheepishly told the police officer that he took the car to go get his sister a Christmas present.
Oh, man. He was just trying to do hood rat things with his friends, smoke real cigarettes.
I wanted to get my sister a pink tractor joy, he told the cops, who will surely be seeing a lot of this kid over the coming years, right? The boy was luckily uninjured in the car, just suffered some scratches from being driven through a fence and into a hayfield by a little shit. Hope he gets his sister the pink trailer car or whatever he wants to get, and they enjoy the next few Christmases, because he's going to be getting his sister whatever he can make in prison shop in the near future, if you ask me.
You think he's just the first in a long line of offenses for this guy? Stealing
the car as a 5-year-old, then coming up with a really cute excuse when he gets busted. Yeah, I think that this guy's going to be a career criminal for sure.
Either career criminal or like James Bond.
Yeah, well, something awesome.
What if he stays on the good path?
Well, let's hope. Yeah, I mean, either way, I would keep an eye on Timmy, Ontario Provincial Police. He's a little too impulsive for society, if you ask me.
Guys, I got bad news.
What's that?
I just looked up Latarian Milton, the 7-year-old who
Yeah,
stole his car back
Latarian.
in 2008, his grandmother's truck. The guy just wanted to do hood rat things with his friends.
Yeah.
Latarian, I think, may be incarcerated.
Yep.
Oh,
Shocker.
Man.
Shocker. Kids that steal cars at 5 and 7 continue down that road, huh? Well,
Psych.
like I said.
Psych.
No?
No, here's what happened to Latarian. He joined the football team in high school. That's very cool.
I saw that. I saw he was playing
and then
football.
he continued his schooling by studying engineering. He joined the U.S. Navy, right? That's pretty
Look
cool.
at Latarian.
Yep. And then in August 2017, alongside
When did
a
he
couple
get
of friends.
dishonorably discharged?
Well, in August 2017, alongside a couple of friends, he ordered a Lyft and later robbed that driver, pulled them out of the car, and drove away.
Yeah,
So he's
Latarian.
in prison.
Yeah, Latarian. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. So it was a long, windy road that led him to the incarceration.
He tried to fight against his best nature, but this kid, look out for this kid in Ontario, guys.
Mark's putting notice on all kids that steal cars right now.
Yes. Yeah, if you're under 10 and you steal a car, I don't care what the reason's for, you're going to be a horrible piece of shit child, teenager, and a
But
young
it's not
adult.
his fault. It's not Timmy Maple Syrup's fault, man.
It's definitely Timmy Maple Syrup's fault.
No, it's the parents' fault.
I'm going to be so upset when my
this is the
daughter steals my car.
This is the pit bull thing again. Is it the pit bull's fault or is it the owner's fault? Yeah. Right, Pat?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
I think Timmy's got a little pit bull in him.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's head over to Chile, since it's cold outside, since it's the winter solstice. Let's over to Chile, where they just elected their youngest president ever, 35-year-old far-left millennial, former student leader, Gabriel Boric. Here's a picture of him. There's Gabriel. He looks like he enjoys IPAs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a thick neck beard he's got.
Yeah.
Did you know that if we taxed just
IPAs alone, we could. His former job is student, probably because he hasn't worked a job in his life other than barista. Am I right? 35-year-old student. I guess he didn't start a career by 35, which is fine. I don't know if I'm electing the guy president, but it's fine. And no, I mean, it's cool. Very progressive of Chile, giving this guy 56% of the votes. He claims he's going to unite Chile by fighting the privileges of the few.
Right.
And his platform is basically going after rich, corrupt people. And it's at this time that I would like to officially change my prediction from the Queen of England being the first to go to this guy.
Gabriel
This guy
Boric,
is going to be killed so fast because do you know what the quote few has? A ton of money to hire professional hitmen.
Yeah.
Right. He's like a Bernie Sanders of Chile, except he's 35.
And it's Chile, and they're going to kill him.
And instead of cursing his name like they would Bernie Sanders,
Right.
um,
They're going to put him in a vat of acid.
Right. And also, to me, it seems like the top of Chile is going to be the most volatile kind of economic top. Like they've got enough money to ruin this guy's life, but not enough where they could they have to actually defend themselves.
Wait till you hear what the industry is that is making money in Chile and what he's going after. Hopefully they don't kill his entire family and it's just his head just his head they remove. But I mean, they'll probably kill his family as well because they want to send a message to the 56% that voted him in. Like, nah, no guys. Boric has promised to fight the climate crisis by blocking a proposed mining project, a large copper mining project. And get this, Chile happens to be the world's largest copper producing nation. So that should go over well with the copper moguls.
So he plans to block their primary
biggest
export and
yes.
tax people more.
Yes. It's like going after oil in the US right away, right? Yeah.
Wouldn't you want more revenue for the copper people so you could tax them more if you're into big taxes?
He's shutting down the mining because it's bad for the environment.
Yeah, what's the equivalent, like in America, right? Like we have the governor of Texas lying and saying that the wind turbines froze because he's in the pocket of big oil.
I heard those things are really a nightmare for mechanics.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but they can add a thing to make them not freeze. They
didn't freeze. Guys,
they didn't
freeze. It was Greg Abbott lying. We went over this. We've established this. What's the equivalent?
but it's also easy to get them to not freeze.
Well, that's not the point. It's not the point. I just wanted to take a shot at Greg Abbott and then ask what the equivalent was.
I don't like that
down
guy.
in Chile. You have Greg Abbott lying about whether something happened or not.
The equivalent is they kill Boric.
That's what I'm getting
Put
at.
him in a vat of acid. The equivalent is they
getting
put
at.
him in a vat of acid.
Start small, Breach.
Yeah, Boric is going to be buried in that mine that he's trying to shut down, and the next leader is going to approve the mine, reopen it, the mining project, and then everyone that works in that mine is going to use his grave as a restroom when they need to take a quick break from hauling out millions and millions and $1 million worth of copper.
Copper is
end well
scarce
for
right now
Boric.
too. I feel like So it's one of those things that like gets robbed off of job sites all the time.
Well, it's not because it's scarce. It's just because it's a high value precious metal.
Yeah.
I hope Baric's first project, instead of shutting down the mine, is learning how to become bulletproof. That would come in handy.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton, on the shutting down your primary export plus wanting more tax.
This guy's going after the rich in Chile.
It doesn't make any sense.
He's not going to win.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like you're like, I'm going to raise tax revenue, but I'm going to shut down my taxable product.
Oh, Will, you're right.
I'm all for progress.
The supply
but this
chain
guy's not the guy.
The supply chain has raised the price of copper to its highest cost.
Look at
in
that.
1,000 years.
This fucker needs to get out of the way. He needs a full speed ahead. The copper.
You think
mine.
the copper capital of the world's going to put up with Boric? No, he's dead.
Fucked, bro.
His head's on a spike.
Big copper is coming for his ass.
Oh yeah. All right. And lastly, let's calm down. Let's calm down for the last one though. Let's head over to the always calm Berlin, Germany. Yes, Berlin. Germans are realizing
Never excitable.
Yeah,
Germany.
They're very calm. Germans are realizing what Pat vocalized on our Hive Hour show earlier this week, and that's that the holidays are a really stressful time, right? Yeah. It's ration hive season, if you know what I mean. People be freaking out on people in public. Everyone's in a rush and underprepared. They didn't get half the shit done they planned on, right? It's fucking terrible out there right now. So recognizing this, Berlin's public transport company, BVG, is doing something about it. They are sprinkling hemp oil on all their day passes for the train system and printing the passes on edible paper because nothing says, I'm not stressed out, like seeing a bunch of strangers eat their train tickets in front of you.
That's weird.
No, they are not doing this.
Yes, they are.
That's so weird, man.
Can I see your ticket, ma'am? Sorry, I ate it. Okay, wait here. I'm just going to call the Berlin crazy collectors. What?
That's fine if I can't ride the train for the rest. I'll just fly where I was going.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even like THC oil. They're giving you like CBD oil.
It's not. There's going to be a bunch of BVG employees yelling at people in German to eat their tickets. That should go over well with the people that aren't clued in. The people that don't know what's going on. Essen Sie das Ticket. Why are they shouting at these people to eat their tickets? BVG says they are putting.
Imagine being a tourist.
Yeah,
they're like
tourist.
crying. They're like, am I doing it right? Trying to eat the ticket.
Checking the guidebook.
Eat the ticket. Eat that ticket. It's good for you. It's gonna be a confusing time for tourism in Berlin this week. BVG says they're putting no more than 3 drops of hemp oil they obtained from the seed of the cannabis plant, not the flower, hence the no THC, like Will alluded to, on each ticket, and that calming effect should be good to enjoy for up to 24 hours. This way, you can quote travel hassle-free around Berlin all day, and then simply swallow your Christmas stress along with your ticket. Ha 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 ha.
What a fucking weird idea.
Yeah, by the way, in related news, you remember how Merkel is out for the first time in 16 years? And that new guy, Olaf, whatever the fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Olaf Scholz or whatever is in, with this new coalition party. Well, they have made it very clear that they plan on legalizing marijuana.
All
in
right.
Germany. So
this is part of that.
Soon you won't need to eat your ticket and look like a raving lunatic to travel calmly in Germany.
That's good.
Yeah,
Mark, you put the weed hat on. I was already wearing a weed hat. This was meant to be.
There you go.
Weed time.
That's great.
And related to those last 2 stories, I don't know how many longtime listeners we have on the show, but Predict It is back, baby. predictit.org/promo/hardfactor40. You can there was a market for which foreign leader would be out first, and it had Angela Merkel, it had the prime minister from Italy, and it had some other people on there. I think Boris Johnson. I played that one. Merkel won that one. Yeah, now they might start a new one, and I would go Gabriel Boric, right? You could, if you go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor40, they will match up to $40 If you put in $40, you create an account. It's legal in all 50 states. It takes 5 minutes. You can link it to your any debit card, any credit card, and then you got a profile set up. And if you put in $40, they'll give you 40. That's $80 you can start using to predict, like these events that are pretty predictable if you do your research, and you can make a good amount of money. We will have certain markets that we'll be telling you that we like in the coming weeks and all 2022.
In practice this year for the elections.
That's right. Predicted.org/promo/hard-factor40. That's the URL. There's no promo code. You got to go to that URL. Just hooks you up right there. Yeah.
There you go.
You got to be in there before election season.
Yeah.
Just
You
FYI.
have to be.
FYI.
You must be. And also what you must be doing is prioritizing your mental health. Yeah. Straight up, guys. We often prioritize productivity over how we feel mentally, and that could be really damaging long term. We've talked about this before, but Talkspace, they make it easier to match with a licensed therapist and get confidential, convenient, and affordable support for your mental health. I use Talkspace. Have you guys done therapy before? You guys messed around with the therapy?
I have not yet, but I'm getting pretty close.
Let me tell you why you should.
Yeah.
Therapy is like a friend that's going to listen to your problem, and then also went to school to give you insight about your particular problem. And you don't have to feel bad telling them about your problem because you're paying them. And you're
they give you honest advice, more objective advice, certainly than you can get a lot of time in your regular day-to-day life, because it's somebody who's a third party, kind of fresh eyes.
It's very true. You ever called a mentor when you need to make a big decision?
Right.
It's like that. Just it's the same effect, but very different, right? Because it's about you, your personal life, your relationships, your family, your work, whatever trauma you might have going on, right? And we all have a little bit of trauma. Talkspace is awesome because it's online, right? And you can get on Talkspace. They have a really cool onboarding program. A customer service rep will ask you what you're in for, right? What your issues are, and then they'll match you with a licensed counselor or therapist that deals with your specific area of need. It's really awesome. They do couples counseling, they do behavioral health counseling, they do addiction counseling, general. Also, you have a huge pool of therapists to choose from, which you really do not have. Like if you're going to find a therapist in a traditional manner, like you look in the phone book, you call around, you see who's available.
Right.
And
it's like a small town with one doctor.
Sucks.
The doctor's the vet as well as the human doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Talkspace is
One therapist,
online. You could pick from, 5, 10, 15 different people
Exactly.
that are available. It's really pretty cool.
Nice.
There's going to be an uptick in travelers to Berlin calling into Talkspace, so hopefully the Talkspace therapists know that news story.
Yep. Also, let me tell you something, gentlemen out there whose ladies are like, hey, this problem in our relationship keeps happening, right? You keep saying, I'm working on it. Well, one way to show them that you're working on it is to say, hey, once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Very true.
I talk to a therapist, and there's no bad that can come from it. I promise you that. Only good can come from it. So I highly
Smarter
recommend.
option than getting a pet to save your relationship. Yeah.
Exactly.
Therapy is one of the smartest things you can do.
Mm-hmm. You can send and receive unlimited messages 24/7 with your dedicated therapist in the app. So that's another thing. If you're more of like a texter, you can say, hey, it's happening again, doc. And the doc will say, well, Patrick, remember what we talked about. I'm not going to share that here on air because that's private.
But they'll give you some tips and tricks. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, guys. So if you feel like your mental health has been stuck on the sidelines, Talkspace is here to help. Match with a licensed therapist. Go to Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month with promo code HARDFACTOR. That's $100 when you use the promo code HARDFACTOR, one word, at Talkspace.com. And I don't want to hear that you can't afford it because guess what? Move some shit around.
Yeah.
Therapy is the most important thing to afford.
Your mental health is the most important thing. Yeah.
Straight up.
Doc, I was in Berlin and everyone was eating tickets and screaming at each other. I think
I want to call my therapist.
Yeah. I need some advice here.
Straight to Talkspace.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I want to tell you about growing up outside of D.C. I feel like we got to do some really interesting and poignant stuff through our time in public school there that maybe kids that are in public school in other parts of the country maybe didn't get to do, or at least do as in-depth as we got to. And I think this was mostly because like the wealth of excellent museums in our nation's capital, like trips to the Air and Space Museum or the Newseum or the Natural History Museum just became part of the curriculum through elementary school, middle school, and high school. Tours of the Capitol and Q&As with civil rights legends, congressmen, congresswomen. That was just like a bus trip and a permission slip and a bag lunch away. So we did that a lot. It was really pretty cool. overall, I feel like kids going to school in and around the D.C. area are really lucky to have these things be intertwined with their public school education. And one of the trips that almost every 8th grade civics and or history class took was to the Holocaust Museum, which if you if you haven't been, it's a trip every American should make at least once. It's a very intense experience and extremely valuable to understand the horrors that human beings are capable of.
Great
Unchecked
event
powder.
for Winter Solstice Day. It's a shitty, sad, depressing day already. Winter Solstice.
Yeah.
Hop on over to the Holocaust Museum today.
And then you eat meats and get drunk afterwards. And then you go into starvation season.
There you go. But yeah, guys, if unchecked power, and misguided populism and hate are allowed to rise, shit like the Holocaust takes place. And, again, it's not a walk through the park. It's not fun.
No.
But it's really well done. And it's really worth experiencing as close to of the situation as you can, what those people, 6 million Jews, had to go through pretty terrible stuff. And I'll tell you guys this because I think education about the Holocaust is important, right? But that's not to say it can't be done.
Why are you telling us this?
The wrong way, right? One DC school, Mark, showed us exactly the wrong way to teach kids about the Holocaust when they engaged a 3rd grade class in a reenactment of the Holocaust, complete with role play Adolf Hitler and ditch digging. This, according to a piece that the Washington Post broke.
What grade?
3rd grade. That's 3rd graders.
Oh.
The teacher. Wait, who played Adolf Hitler? Was it the teacher?
One of the kids who happened to be a Jewish kid was assigned the role of Adolf Hitler.
No way.
Yeah. Not
they
good.
make him put a little stash on and everything.
It may very well have.
No.
This was fucked up. Guys, this is Kimberlyn Jerkowski. She's a real Jerkowski. She
threw her in jail over this?
No, that's from a previous arrest.
Okay.
She's a Watkins Elementary School staff member. This is a school in D.C., and she told 3rd graders in the library class that she led to reenact scenes from the Holocaust, and she directed them to dig their classmates' mass
Hitler on
graves.
Ice style.
Simulate shooting the victims, and according to an email from the school's principal, I guess the instructor was placed on leave Friday for good reason. She allegedly assigned specific roles to students, casting one student as Adolf Hitler, as I said. I guess that student is Jewish, according to the parent who has asked to what the fuck's going on, honestly. At the end of the
According
exercise,
to the Jewish parent whose child was dressed up as Adolf.
How was your day today? Yeah.
What's that? How
was your day today? Can you imagine the kid explaining to his Jewish family?
I played Hitler, and I was encouraged. I was asked to pretend to commit suicide, just like Hitler did at the end of the exercise, which this kid was asked to do.
My goodness.
Yeah,
different parent. See it through.
A different parent of a student who was part of the reenactment said her son had to pretend to be on a train to a concentration camp, then act as if he were dying in a gas chamber. He also had to act as if he was shooting his peers, the parents said.
I mean, it is important to teach kids about what happened, atrocities that happen in history so that, you don't repeat the past, hopefully. But I mean, like 3rd grade, and you would never, ever want anybody to act any of these out, regardless of age.
8-year-olds, dude. Okay,
if you think like the headdresses, like dressing up like Native Americans is offensive, this is like 1,000 times worse.
There's nothing you could reenact that's worse.
Like making like a cute headdress and doing like a rain dance is offensive to some. This is offensive to all, I would imagine.
Yeah, and you guys might be thinking, man, what a misguided sense of education this lady had trying to teach these kids about the Holocaust through the absolute worst teaching device in this instance possible, reenactment.
Yeah. She's like, next we're going to do the Lolita Express in Epstein Island.
You might be wrong, though, guys. Jerkowski might just be a jerkowski because she allegedly made anti-Semitic comments during the reenactment. The parent,
she just enjoys it.
Yeah, this might be some sort of sick, sadistic situation where she could have these kids act this thing out under the guise of education.
Well, she did make a Jewish kid Hitler, so it might be.
Yeah, I mean, that tracks.
Signs pointing towards it.
Yeah, that tracks.
And
this is a hate crime.
Goebbels? Or?
I don't know. So there's one line.
This is if that's definitely like a hate crime. Right?
Well, I'm about to tell you what is potentially borderline as a hate crime. You let me know what your thoughts. There's all that info that I've expressed, but then there's this part. A parent said that one child asked Jerkowski why the Germans did this, and Jerkowski said it was, quote, because the Jews ruined Christmas.
She did not say that.
No,
That's
way.
a quote from a parent.
That's a direct quote.
From a parent, from the child, and then Jerkowski, I guess, asked the students after the reenactment not to tell anyone about it, but they told their homeroom teacher, and then the ball.
She was
started.
like, "There's one comment I'd like to take back from the entire days."
Right.
I don't want you to. You can say whatever you want about today, but I don't want you to repeat the Christmas thing with the Jews, if that's okay.
No, I mean the whole thing. But if you believe, look, if she said that this happened because the Germans think the Jews ruined Christmas, then there's no way there was any like
Historical.
Solid intent.
Yeah, historical intent.
Well, and Kimberly likes to do things.
Well, the fact that she asked people not to tell that
Right.
also tells you that
She's like, if you tell anyone about this, you'll get gassed like the Jews.
Right, exactly. Fucked up stuff. So I went back through her Twitter. June 4th, 2020, Kimberlyn Jerkowski says, Lesson 101, great teachers support the lesson with historical facts and details.
Well, what's the
what
Christmas
was she
bullshit all
referencing?
about? Yeah, what is she talking about?
No, exactly. I don't know.
She's making up her own history there.
She's making up her own history. So Jerkowski was in trouble before with the law, it's turned out. In a convoluted case, Kimberlyn Jerkowski, she was living in Hamilton Township. This is back on October 23rd, 2013. And she was accused of defrauding the Hamilton Township School District of $24K in a tutoring scam. I guess the district had paid for tutoring for her two children, but then the tutoring stopped, and she and the tutor continued to bill the district for 6 more months to the tune of $24,000. Yeah, and then they split it. Yeah. So people are not happy, guys. Let's take it to the internet real quick. This tweet from @Maschivius said, I don't believe the reenactment happened. If it did, I believe they've exaggerated the amount of children that took part in the reenactment.
Okay.
Pretty great troll, if you ask me.
Is that a joke about the Holocaust?
It's
deniers?
trolling Holocaust deniers.
Oh, wow. What that's a next level.
That's a deep one.
It's a deep level, and would you believe it? A lot of people didn't get it, but reacted anyway. Keith Avery clapped back, saying, "Absolutely, the kind of thing elementary school children would just come up with on their own to get attention, right?" Eye roll. So he didn't get it. And then @_A Zionist says,
"Oh, this got him angry."
No wonder you have 0 followers. So everyone is lying. The mental distress of the children, a scam, exaggerated. Even if there was just one child, this is abuse. The adult's behavior was pathological. Now,
This is amazing.
@A_Zionist goes on to put to rest that he is, in fact, aware of the false conspiracy theories that the Holocaust never happened. And that was what Maschivius' tweet was making fun of.
Yes.
But he continued, still not getting it, saying, are you a Holocaust denier too?
So he got it but didn't get it.
Yeah.
Got it. But are you exaggerating the number of Jews murdered?
A Zionist, this comment ruined hours of A Zionist Day.
Yeah.
And A Zionist got more mad at that troll comment than he is at the teacher.
No, I know.
Like his world got completely turned upside down.
Is
from
he
that
so
comment.
mad at the teacher that it all got then put on
No,
to this
Yes,
guy's
it was
comment?
misguided. He shifted it. He shifted all of his anger to this guy who was making fun of Holocaust deniers.
Just
It was the
obsessing
inception of
over
comments.
Twitter on his
Yeah.
phone.
It was amazing because at the beginning you were like, "Oh, he's just like the guy before who just doesn't get that this guy's trolling Holocaust deniers," and
But
then he lets you know
mentions Holocaust denying.
that he knows Holocaust
You're
deniers.
just like a Holocaust denier,
Yeah.
which is what he was joking about.
Oh man, really, Maschivius must.
Well,
have
he's not
really
a
enjoyed
genius, is he?
No.
He's a-
Hey, I mean, it's a rough go for DC though, and you know, like they're back under a state of emergency. People are just going to be having rash reactions. I feel like. With
I
this-
really want to find out more about what this lady did because looking through her Twitter,
Where was the school?
It was in DC proper.
It was
Watkins,
in DC, yeah.
Watkins Elementary School.
DC, and they're back to like a state of emergency.
We'll
So
see.
it's 2021's ending a lot like 2020.
I mean, it's not good if they got Holocaust reenactments going on. The wheels are falling off. At the school.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like the worst possible thing he can have go on at the school.
I mean, do you
besides-
need a Hitler? You know, like
shooter.
let's just play
No,
devil's
it's the
advocate for a
worst.
second here.
What could you possibly reenact that's worse than that?
And what does a third grader know about death, right? That they can, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
it's like
It needs to be a metaphor reenactment of some sort. You can't have a direct reenactment.
Why don't
So
you?
they
Why
can
don't they
grasp
just?
it.
Why don't
like
they
rape
just like
reenactments?
Why don't they just
It's
right? Why don't they
insane.
just like read a child? I mean, first of all, that's too young, I think. But why don't they just
Third
like watch
grade?
an educational like film on it that's not, like that's a PG version?
It's
like
the point of Anne Frank's diary because she was,
Yeah,
a
like-
young woman, a
right.
teenager going
Right.
through this.
You
Yeah.
graduate first.
Go-
You do Anne
in a
Frank's
text- in a
diary, then you
textbook
do
or
the
like a
Holocaust
film.
Museum.
Yeah, go to the Holocaust Museum.
Boom.
But I think
One
third
after
grade's
the next.
a little young either way. I think.
Yeah, that all starts in like fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
You don't
Not
throw
even.
people on an imaginary train to death camp and then have
No.
the kid playing Hitler.
No,
kill
this
him.
lady-
Uh-oh,
psycho.
look who showed up, Hitler. It's a Jew. What are you going to do? And the kid's like,
Nah,
what am I
she
supposed to do?
Clearly
She's like-
dislikes Jews. It seems
Yeah.
like. I mean, it's
Well,
the
the
Hitler
Christmas
thing.
comment.
It's
She
the
hates.
kid.
She's
do you,
she's
do you think
enraged.
she was like, "Hey, show of hands, who's Jewish in here?" And then like picked out the kid.
I think
for
she
Hitler?
knew. Well,
I don't think she
She's
said
like,
happy.
she
figured it out ahead
I
of
don't
time.
think she mentioned Hanukkah at all earlier in December when it was going on. I don't think she gave Hanukkah the time of day this year. And she's mad that Christmas is up and Jews exist. They ruined
So-
Christmas somehow.
yeah,
killed
Kimberlyn
Christ.
Jerkowski.
Wow. Well,
They
thank
didn't
you
kill Christ.
for giving us
think-
the skinny on that, Pat. It was,
Mm-hmm.
didn't disappoint.
Real terrible stuff over there. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you all so much for listening. Again, we are going to be giving you shows all week, unlike some of those other lazy-ass podcasts. Some of my favorite podcasts came out last week, and they're like, we'll see you next year.
Oh, come on.
And I was like, okay, you lazy pieces of fucking
Chumps.
shit. Not us. Nope. So we're going to give you an episode today.
Oh,
and,
let's do the dice.
tomorrow and the day after that, and then Friday it's going to be a dating episode with relationship expert and dating expert Marnie. So,
And maybe
yeah.
maybe a few Christmas songs. I'm working on one.
oh my god,
Yeah, come on.
Maybe we'll see.
let's roll the dice, Will.
We'll see. All right, I'm bringing the dice in. Hold on. Here
Wes
they
is not on the show, but he's included in this. Dice.
He's in the dice
Should we
roll.
just give Wes the coffee?
are. You can always just say
Yeah.
that he
Who's
got it,
gonna
but
tell
no,
us?
but no.
Who's gonna
The
tell?
integrity of the dice would
All
be
right,
ruined, and I'm not for that. So
All right, let's
here we
roll.
go. First roll, and it is 6. Nobody. Second roll, a 4. Nobody. And it is a 2.
Pat.
Oh, Pat's on the coffee.
Pat's on
And
the
it
coffee.
is a 2. Pat's on TikTok too. No, it is
I'm
a
on
1.
TikTok.
Mark's
Back
on TikTok again.
All right.
The
Thanks a lot, y'all.
W's are on stories, Wes and Will. Damn.
Wow.
We rolled him this morning on, again, Hive Hour, patreon.com/hardfactor to get that show. And Wes got 3 5s in a row. Remember?
Yeah, he's the dice. I think he's right. The dice do like him, but today they spared him.
escaped. Yeah.
I knew you guys would get addicted to the dice too. The dice, it's pretty fun.
It's scary.
I like it.
It's like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Pat. I know that probably throws you off. You have to do the hard job tomorrow, but
No, I don't mind. Have a great fucking day.